yourself comfortable in your warm bed under the warm blanket. On your comfortable pillow, on a soft pillow, I'll be near. I'll embrace you and I'll reach you, my beautiful princess. The fairy tale god, the tomtit, and the bee. One summer day, as the wolf and the bee were walking together in a wood, they heard a bird singing most delightfully. Brother, said the bee, what can that bird be that is singing so sweetly? Oh, said the wolf, that is His Majesty the King of the Birds. They must take care to show him all possible respect. Now I should tell you that the bird was after all no other than the tomtit. If that is the case, said the bee, I would like to see the royal bells. So pray come along and show to me. Gently, my friends, said the wolf. We cannot see just yet. We must wait till the queen comes home. Soon afterwards, the queen came with food in her beak, and she and the king began to feed the young ones. Now for it, said the bee, and was about to follow them to see what was to be seen. Stop a little, Master Bruin, said the wolf. We must wait now till their majesties are gone again. So they marked the hole where they had seen the nest and went away. But the bee, being very eager to see the royal bells, soon came back again, and peeping in at the nest, saw 5 or 6 young birds lying at the bottom of it. What nonsense, said Bruin. This is not a royal palace. I never saw such a filthy place in my life. And you are no royal children, you little base-born brats. As soon as the young tomtits heard this, they were very angry and screamed out, "We are not base-born, you stupid bee. Our father and mother are honest, good sort of people, and depend upon it, you shall suffer for your insolence." At this the wolf and the bee grew frightened and ran away to their dens. But the young tomtits kept crying and screaming, and when their father and mother came home and offered them food, they all said, "We will not touch a bit. No, not the leg of the fly. Though we should die of hunger, the little rascal Bruin has been punished for calling us base-born brats. Make yourselves easy, my darlings," said the old king. "You may be sure he shall meet with his deserts." So he went out and stood before the bee's den and cried out with a loud voice, "Bruin the bee, thou hast shamed and scampered away as fast as he could. As soon